Hi everybody, my name is Ian Vair and you're watching the Green Mountain Chef. We have a lovely episode for you today. This week we're out in the forest. It's mid-July. We found golden chanterelle. Out with my lovely girlfriend and several of our friends in a pine forest, mixed woods with oak trees. The golden chanterelle is native to Vermont and the Northeast. We love these mushrooms because they're wonderful for amateur mushroom foragers. And many people that are in the woods are a little afraid of the wild mushroom, but this is one that frequently you will find at farmers markets. Many farmers and other foragers will have these. So this is a dish that I decided to make for us today. It's a stuffed chicken breast. And we're going to butterfly the chicken breast in cream cheese. We're going to use cream cheese for the stuffing with fresh basil, the sautéed chanterelle mushroom, just a little herb and spice, and this is going to be a lovely dish for us, along with steamed broccoli and a roasted sweet potato. So stay tuned. This is a great dish because you don't have to use the wild mushroom. This is something that you can use with mushrooms from the grocery store if you prefer. No worries, but if you'd like to follow us on Green Mountain Chef, please do. Please find us at the farmers market and many other avenues that you're going to find the chanterelle mushroom. So, what's going to take the longest? That's where we need to start when we're on the air, especially. So, I was able to acquire some sweet potatoes from the Vermont and Rutland County Farmers Market, and we have one here. And to get started with that, I like to give it a little bit of oil, and I have a simple vegetable oil. I'm going to coat the sweet potato. And this is going to go in some aluminum foil. You don't have to do it this way, but this makes it nice and soft and makes it so the skin is very palatable, very healthy. Right into the oven. Wonderful. Okay. Next, I'm going to go ahead and work on our stuffing and our chicken breast. So, cream cheese, standard cream cheese. I'm going to use a few ounces. Now, this is a recipe for one breast, okay? So, technically, we would be doubling this if you were on a date or if it was a nice couple at home. Easy recipe to double or quadruple or to make ahead of time for parties. Okay, I have my cream cheese here. I'm going to kind of spread this around in the bowl that I have. Meanwhile, start heating up my sauté pan. Now, one thing with wild mushrooms that's very important is that we cook them. There's only a few wild mushrooms that should go uncooked, and they're expert mushrooms, so let's not worry about that at all today. The chanterelle mushroom, one, like I said, we're going to find it under pine tree and oak trees. It has descending gills. They're more of folds than true gills. It's very interesting, actually. And also, at the end of the caps here, they're going to fork. Okay? Now, when we open them in the center, they're white. So the whole mushroom is yellow, and when you cut it open, or when you sort of peel it, it's going to be white in the center. Now, I usually don't wash my mushrooms because they tend to get a little slimy, a little wet. They absorb the water pretty well. So I'm just going to brush a small amount of dirt off that we have here. All right, lovely. Now be careful when you're foraging. There's a lot of mushrooms that are lookalikes. You want to make sure that you know what you're doing, or that you're with an experienced or expert wild mushroom forager. Like I said, these recipes can easily be duplicated with store-bought mushrooms. So, no fear. Have no fear. All right, just going to brush these off. My pan is heating up. I'm going to saute these first. They're not going to cook well enough inside of that chicken breast in the oven. It's only going to be in the oven about 30 minutes. All right. I'm going to quarter these, go back across. chop them up a bit. These are lovely mushrooms. Chanterelle are nice. They have a very fruity aroma to them, almost a peach or apricot-like essence. Wonderful. Another vegetable oil. You can use butter. You can use avocado oil. All right. The key to saute is a nice hot pan. So this pan is plenty hot. The oil is moving around the pan very easily. There's actually almost fingers in that pan. And when it goes in, you should get a nice sizzle. Just a few minutes in here. Maybe a skosh more oil. Now when they go into this saute pan, if they absorb the oil quickly, just add in a little bit more. No big deal. Now again, the reason why I'm sauteing these before I put them in the stuffing is we want to ensure that they are cooked. Very key measure with wild mushrooms. Okay. Now, let's use some fresh basil. Basil we can find at the local farmer's market. We can find it at the grocery store. You can use dried basil if you like. We can't find basil year-round, so it's not that big of a deal. Just give this just a rough chop. All right. Basil's going to go in with our cream cheese. Let's push that around a little bit. Get a nice mix in there. I like to add just a skosh of black pepper. Some kosher salt. Not too much. The mushrooms look great. Just a couple minutes in the pan. Straight into our stuffing. Lovely. All right. Honestly, for our stuffing, that's about all we need. You know, I'm a French-trained chef, but I'm a big proponent of using French methods with simple ingredients. It's not hard. It just takes a little bit of love. Okay, very close. So start to finish, this is about 2.5, 3 ounces of stuffing. This is only one breast. Into the fridge for a few minutes. Now let's work with this chicken breast. Make sure you have a nice sharp knife. The breast we're not going to cut all the way through. It's very important. You plump the breast up a bit. You go in from one side. Keep your hand as flat as you possibly can. Not all the way through. Right down. That opens the breast up very nicely. Okay. I'm going to wait just a few minutes before I stuff this. I'd like our stuffing to be a little more firm before it goes into the breast. Okay. So our sweet potato is in the oven. By the way, the oven's on 375 degrees. Start to finish, that sweet potato is going to go for about an hour. Now, we have locally procured broccoli. And, you know, those of you who don't love broccoli, there's many other vegetables that we could use. Some steamed asparagus, maybe some green beans. And I'm going to lightly steam this, and then I'm going to saute it. Give it a little extra flavor. Okay. I'm going to cut the bottom off. It's a little fibrous. Get some nice florets. All right. These are going to go into a sauce pan that we have a lid for. And you don't need a special apparatus for broccoli to steam it. I honestly just add in about a ½ inch of water. Bring it to a boil. Takes about 5 minutes, not long. So we're going to let that go. All right, back to our chicken breast. If anyone's just tuning in, we're making a stuffed chicken breast. We're using chanterelle mushrooms, cream cheese, fresh basil, salt and pepper, keeping it simple. My name's Chef Ian Vair, everyone. All right. So here's our stuffing. Nice butterfly chicken breast. And this is just going to fold over on itself. Okay. All right. I need an egg wash, 1 egg, a few ounces of milk. Let's get that mixed up. Okay. We need some all-purpose flour. Feel free to use gluten-free flour. Not much, a couple ounces at the most, quarter cup at the most. Next is going to be some breadcrumbs. These happen to be some homemade sourdough breadcrumbs. No specific type of breadcrumb. Okay, so we're going to start with the flour. We want to get a nice coating so the entire stuffed chicken breast is coated. This is going to ensure that once we dip it into the egg wash, we have a really, really nice base for our breadcrumbs. Okay. Finished with the flour. Into the egg wash, into the breadcrumbs, I feel like I need a little more breadcrumbs, not a big deal. Excellent. Okay. All right, now the opened side of this chicken breast is what we want to be facing down. And it's not a bad idea to also add just a little bit of vegetable oil. Now this happens to be a non-stick pan, but it does create a sort of a seal in that crust. Excellent. Moving right along, let's check on our broccoli. Okay, let me get this saute pan going for our broccoli. Here we are. What do we do now? Chef Ian Vair. You're watching the Green Mountain Chef. Anyone who just tuned in. We are working with golden chanterelle mushrooms, stuffed in a cream cheese and basil stuffing for our chicken breast. We have broccoli that's steaming that we will be sauteing shortly. It's taking its time for some reason. We have one chicken breast in the oven, working away. It'll be finished in about 10 minutes. We have a lovely yam, you call it a sweet potato, from the local farmer's market in the oven. And basically what we're doing today is using ingredients that are locally sourced. Ingredients that are healthy. Healthy ingredients, locally sourced, easy recipes, simple I should say, French methods. And we have an audience today. So, where do we go now? We keep cooking. What should we do next? There's not much that I can do until everything around me gives me about 2 or 3 more minutes. So if I had any questions from the audience, they probably would say, what kind of chef are you, Ian? And I'd probably say, well, I'm a chef that likes to work with mushrooms. I'm a chef that likes to forage in our local forest. I'm a chef that uses French methods, healthy ingredients. Come on down to the local Vermont and Rutland County Farmers Market. There's many vendors that are there. There's many of us that are making wonderful food and growing amazing products and produce, meats and produce. So you can find eggs there, you can find jewelry there, you can find all kind of great things to buy down at the local farmers market. So we have a nice hot saute pan. Good clean vegetable oil. Little salt and pepper on the broccoli. I'm going to keep it simple. I like to use kosher salt. Now, sauteing the broccoli after you steam it is not a necessary measure. I like it for flavor. I like that added caramelization. So this just takes a few minutes. Okay, broccoli looks great. All right, this is lovely. Our chicken breast is fully cooked. It's nice and firm. Now, television magic, everyone. This breast went in about 30 minutes ago. That's as long as it's going to take. You can see the stuffing is coming out of the bottom here. That's where it was sealed up. Excellent. Another sweet potato. This one has been about nearly an hour in the oven. Nice and soft. Excellent. Okay, a little bit of butter to go into our sweet potato. Nice piece of basil to garnish. Lovely. So there we have it. I'm sorry, everyone, about the pause in the middle. We still got a wonderful dish. Our chanterelle mushroom, cream cheese, and basil stuffed chicken breast. Our steamed and sauteed broccoli with our roasted sweet potato with butter. My name's Ian Vair. You're watching The Green Mountain Chef. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in.